My gorgeous Gemininis, my ever so precious, my beautiful, my powerful Gemininis, I want to say something to you. The actual February 2020, but in particular the 13th of February 2020, it's going to reveal something very, very special to you indeed. And it is going to be very interesting in so many different ways, because at the same time you're about to be visited by a very, very special and rather particular spirit. Yes, my gorgeous Geminini, the 13th of February, it's going to be the day, not only when you are going to enter a completely different dimension, completely beautiful and strange and deep and wonderful, and all these things at the same time are going to influence you in so many different ways. It's absolutely remarkable the way things are actually going to start unfolding for you, my gorgeous Geminini. This is an important moment in time, and I will repeat again, on the 13th of February 2020, you are going to be visited by a very, very special spirit. This spirit is going to be your guide from the 13th of February until the end of that particular month. I'm very excited for you, because at the same time this is going to be the beginning of a rather important and very powerful transformation. The reason why this is going to be so enhanced and so enlightened and so powerful at the same time, it's because you're entering an important vortex and an important doorway, which is going to lead towards your own spiritual awakening. This is a very powerful moment in time, and I cannot explain and I cannot express how important this is actually going to be. Almost immediately you are going to feel different. Almost immediately you are going to feel these different elements in so many different ways, and this is purely from the fact that you are entering this sacred stage. As I said, you're very lucky, my gorgeous Gemininis, because sometimes, and in most of the cases, such a sacred stage like this one that you are entering yourself, it's actually lasting only a short little amount of time. When I say it lasts only a short little amount of time, my gorgeous Gemininis, I talk about, like, let's say 1 day, 2 days, and it sometimes just goes for like about a week, but most certainly you are having a bit of an extra time to play with, extra time to discover things, extra time to reflect on things in a slightly different way, because, as I said, you will be visited by the spirit, and your spirit guide, who is going to take this particular role, is going to stay with you from the 13th of February until the end of that month. It's absolutely remarkable. It's a very powerful moment in time. It's very strong, very sharp, a vision that you're also going to have at the same time. You need to really, my beautiful Gemininis, and now this in particular on the 13th of February, that particular day, but also you have the 12th, 13th and the 14th of February. These 3 days are going to be very strong and very highly illuminated in so many special ways, but especially highly illuminated when it comes to the opportunity, when it comes to the certain option, when it comes to the certain direction, when it comes to the certain unfoldment. Please trust me, there are a couple of different stages. So the 12th, 13th and 14th of February are going to reveal an opportunity, an option, an unfoldment, which is just literally going to change your life. This is going to be a highly remarkable stage that is purely coming through a sacred time, through the sacred energy, through the sacred dimension, and it's absolutely brilliant. And on another hand, there is also going to be the certain discontinuance of effort as well. There is something that is going to come to an end almost immediately. So an option, an opportunity that you're just suddenly gonna start feeling drawn towards to. You might have been thinking about it at some point in time, because it's coming deeply through from your own subconsciousness. So you have been thinking about it at some moment in time, but you may be aware of it or you may not be aware of it. This is going to lead towards you reaching the highest peak of radiance you have reached in an absolutely, like, the last 12 years. Within the last 12 years, years, this is going to be a remarkable time, which is not only going to change your life, which is not only going to bring you promise, which is not only going to redirect your life. It is about the transformation that you're going to start, the rebirth that you're going to start at the same time, but it's most certainly going to also pinpoint down a very annoying stage of your life, because something is purely going to come to an end. You know, there is a completion at the same time which is going to become relevant as well, and it's going to help you to kind of prevent a leak of energy. I say to prevent a leak of energy is just such an amazing and powerful situation, because once you're able to kind of pinpoint down things to yourself, once you're honest with yourself, once you put things right in front of you on the table, you know, and I say things in front of you on the table, you need to be honest with yourself. You need to trust yourself. You need to trust your intuition, but most certainly you're also going to have the ghost with you. You're going to have a spirit guide with you. There is letter R for Robert. It's going to be also rather relevant when it comes to this situation, when it comes to this spirit, when it comes to this, all this dimension that I've mentioned so far. Letter R is going to play an important role. Okay, it is a very important stage that you are entering, and you are going to be showered by the God's energy from a completely different dimension indeed, which is on another hand going to help you to reflect on your situation in so many different ways. And it's the bravery and it's the sharpness connected to the vision that you will have at the same time. And the actual June 2020, it's going to be the continuation of whatever you start here. June 2020 is going to be absolutely huge, and most certainly it's going to be the next stage, the second stage of this wonderful, absolutely beautiful process. So on one hand, an opportunity that you will know that you really need to go for, but on another hand, you will also know what will come to an end. Once you identify that a certain stage, certain part of your life came to an end, and at the same time it's going to be like boom, boom, boom. At the same time, the new door is going to be open to you. This is so difficult to explain the feelings and emotions you're going to be actually going through, but it's very important because it's going to be directly connected to you changing your life. Absolutely brilliant, and I'm very, very happy for you, my gorgeous Gemininis, because lots of you will realize that this is the moment in time that you have actually been waiting for. Never mind the fact that it's actually from the 13th until the end of the month. You just pay attention to all sorts of signs, all sorts of spirit guides, what the spirit guides can be actually kind of like wanting you to kind of pay attention to your dreams in particular. I said before, also pay attention to what's the very first thing on your mind every single morning, because this is going to be also an important and very powerful bridge way in between you and in between the actual, or like a very powerful spiritual shortcuts, because there will be spiritual shortcuts that will be provided to you at the same time. I can't explain and I can't express how important this time it's going to be. When I say spiritual shortcuts, it is all going to be connected in such a way and in such a sense when you feel when you have a certain signs, the very first thing in the morning, like in between the 13th and the end of that month, you know, even if it's telling you like, oh God, I'm just going to go and wash my car. Oh, I just, if it's on your mind, like the first thing, like for example, like, oh, I need to paint something. Oh, I need to buy a new flower. I need to buy a new plant. I need to buy a new statue. There is always going to little baby hidden message in every single thing that you're actually going to have. I've got an itchy face because of Cressida. Her hair is like all over me now. But it's an important thing to say that basically it is just that every single time you have something on your mind, the very first thing in the morning, you know, there will be like a little hidden message that your spirit guide, that your ghost, that your guardian angel, who is going to be around you until the end of that month, like rather intensely, is trying to to let you know, and it's trying to help you to pay attention to certain things. It's going to be wonderful, and it's going to be full of little signs when it comes like a little feather. If you see like a little feather throughout the month, then you just need to know, oh my God, something important is going to happen, or the certain opportunity is just going to come through in such a sense when I'm going to get like and have and receive like a really important confirmation. Oh my God, Gemininis, this is important. The whole dimension is going to feel like, you know, like a little bit different. The energy of the actual October, and the energy of October, it's like very strong, and it's very powerful, and it's very thick. It's thick in so many different ways. But I say thick when it comes to the dimensions, the amount of dimensions that we are actually going through in such a complex time. It's important because the veil in between this world and the spirit world, of course, in October, at the end of October, it's actually at its thinnest. So our spirit guides, our guardian angels, you know, the relatives that have passed away, they all want to communicate to us, you know, talk to us, get through, you know, and that creates this wonderful, wonderful vibration, which on another hand, it just kind of re-energizes us in a different ways, but it makes us become the part of completely different dimension, which is absolutely wonderful, but it's very deep, and that deepness is the actual essence of what we use and what we need and what we want to reflect to and connect to in order to try to find out more about ourselves, about our lives in a slightly different way, looking at the things from a slightly different angle. This is exactly, my gorgeous Gemininis, what I'm talking about. It's incredible, it's remarkable, and it's just basically all about that particular 13th of February when this is going to start. It is all about the transformation, and I say like what to do, my babies, what to do. As more changes you do, my gorgeous Gemininis, the better it's going to be. Just remember, it's also very much connected, this particular energy, to the actual power of the new moon. Power of the new moon. Full moon has got its own power. New moon has got its own power. So new moon has got a power of like a starting new things, starting things over, the beginning, the new start, you know, new vision, anything new that we can start at this moment in time is just gonna get a ball rolling in a very powerful and significant way indeed. So that's why it's also great to get rid of the old and let the place, you know, clear away the old to make a way for the new. You see, this is all so important from the 13th until the end of that month, my gorgeous Gemininis. You reach the highest peak of radiance when it comes to your spiritual awakening. So that's why you have to use it, my gorgeous Gemininis. That's why you have to use it. So now try to get rid of as many things as you can around you, my babies, like throughout this month, but in particular from the 13th. And this is how you're going to actively work with this energy, and at the same time you will be discovering things about yourself, because you will kind of like be an important role in this particular integration. Because what you're going to do is, like, for example, like you want to change your little statue, oh hello kitty, and then you kind of like give this to your friends, so karmically you do something really good, and then basically you go and buy a different statue for yourself, and that is just going on to make like a very good karma on one hand, but on another hand it's just going to be directly responsible for this change of energy, because you get rid of the old statue and you bring the new statue, and that automatically restores like a very slow and very negative and very old energy points. And this is how you work with it. It's wonderful. And it's most certainly going to require like a certain little alterations from you like this. And on another hand, you know, it's also a moment of like a very, very beautiful wiseness that you are going to have at some point in between the 13th at the end of that month. And it's really beautiful because you will be able to feel your wiseness. You will be able to feel yourself. You will be able to sense yourself in a completely different way. And it's all about the wisdom, sound judgment, serene knowledge, you know, spiritual penetration. It's so beautiful, and it's also going to be the certain hidden emotion is going to come to the surface, and this is also going to be rather beautiful and butterfly moment that you are going to have of your own unfoldment and transformation. Beautiful, because it is going to be so much so a big moment in time when you're going to have a really nice and beautiful flip-flop moment when it comes to the wonderful energy, and you are going to really start feeling and living and getting and like a really beautiful quality of life. This is going to be the direction that is going to be revealed to you as well about the things that have been keeping you down and keeping you restrained. So it's like a less work or less to do less, but to really just enjoy yourself on so many different levels, but it's just not being as restrained. Absolutely wonderful, absolutely brilliant, and I'm so excited for you because I know how powerful this stage is going to be for you, my gorgeous Gemininis. I know how much this is going to mean to you, and I know what a wonderful discovery you are going to have at around the end of the month, and it is going to be connected to this particular situation, and you will see exactly what I mean. My name is Sasha Bonasin, and I'm a psychic medium, and this is your monthly horoscope tarot card reading, and it's for you, my gorgeous Geminini, and it's for February 2020. So it's for you, my gorgeous Geminini, and it's for February 2020. Okay, this is an important moment in time, and when it comes to the actual numerology, of course, that you have got number 9. Number 9 is trying to let you know that you are reaching the peak of your activity, you are reaching the peak of your time, which is all going to be relevant to your own spiritual awakening, which is going to be very much so very important here. You are going through a spiritual awakening which is going to affect you in so many different ways, and it's so powerful, oh my god. But it's about this courage, it's about this action, it's about this bravery, it's about a strong vision which is just going to re-energize you. It's going to boost your activity, it's going to boost your courage and self-esteem, and that energy is going to be directly responsible for you opening your little eyes and seeing so much further. Just remember, your third little psychic eye is just going to enhance this vision like there is no tomorrow, but it's about the actual bravery that you're going to feel, and that bravery is going to be directly responsible energy in order for you to realize that there is a change coming. The certain thing is going to come to an end, something that you have been focusing on, the part of your journey that was quite relevant and significant, but it was slowing you down. At that very moment, it is just going to release this absolutely remarkable energy, and that is going to pinpoint towards a really wonderful moment at the same time that you wouldn't see normally, but it's going to be directly connected and to the actual swift change. This is absolutely fantastic moment in time, but this month is also going to bring a really wonderful success when it comes to the material attainment. You're going to find yourself in a quite nice and advanced level. I really like it because it's also when it comes to healing, this is going to be wonderful, and you're going to start feeling so much better here in general. And what else I was going to say, that it's rather important moments in time that those of you that have felt like a really long ailments that you didn't see any improvements, now this is going to be the moment in time when you're going to feel much better. And also it is the victory, the certain victory that was very much so at the back of your mind for the last 11 months, my gorgeous Gemini. There is a victory that you are going to have. This will be very personal to you, very personal to your journey. On one hand, you will be able to prove something to yourself, but on another hand, you will be able to prove something very important to people who mean to you so much in your life. It's so good because it's also going to be connected to the victory, and the certain difficulty. It's at the same time going to come to an end, but it's to do with the stability and the sense of and the fact that you weren't feel as stable. This is so important because it's all boiled down to the actual wish coming through. I'm so happy because that generally is just going to create an important starting point, because you will get the control over a situation. Control over a situation which is just going to come through your own strength, courage, energy, determination. The whole new determination is just going to rejuvenate you in so many different different ways, and it's going to like enhance the action feeling with you when it comes to the actual adventures. You know, it is the confidence. Through your own confidence you will have an accomplishment. You will be tested in a certain way this month, but this is going to be good baby test indeed, because it is just going to kind of like make you feel in a slightly different way, where you would think that you would be like, oh no, my god. Now you're just going to surprise yourself really nicely, and this is all coming through this particular energy. I'm so happy because, you know, it's going to remind you on the time when you had like an unsatisfied desire and you had a little bit of struggle, you know, in the last 5 months. The struggle and unsatisfied desire that you had in the last 5 months is going to become highly illuminating moment in time, because this energy is just going to renew this, and the whole new passion is going to come through. The whole new passion is going to manifest, and that most certainly is going to bring this wonderful energy in, wonderful harmony in, and that harmony is also going to inspire you in so many different ways, but most certainly it's going to help you think, and it's going to help you to expand your mind, your way of thinking. And also when it comes to the problem that was slowing you down, that was preventing you to move on, you know, with your life without you even realizing. You can only realize this once you get to this particular stage. You know, it's going to come to an end. The bottom line is the certain problem, it's going to also come to an end, and that immediately is going to create a rather wonderful wake-up call, and very important wake-up call as well. Okay, when it comes to the actual health, my gorgeous Gemininis, this is important for me to say. When it comes to the actual health, you also need to make sure that you're taking vitamin D, the natural vitamin D, or you can take food, you can eat food which is highly rich in vitamin D. Calcium and magnesium, very important at the same time. Calcium and magnesium, because I need something, the combination that is going to be quite good and relevant for your bones. You need to take care of your bones and your skeleton throughout this month. Vitamin D, very important, calcium and magnesium. Okay, if you are able to go in the sun outside, you know what I mean, like it depends where you live, my gorgeous babies. You know, if you're able to go in the sun, you know, that's great, then you don't need a vitamin D. But if you can't get it out of the sun, if there isn't sun outside, you know, then you just need to kind of get yourself vitamin D, like a natural supplement. I always go for the natural supplements without anti-caking agents in, without any rubbish in, without any chemicals in. On another hand, what else is going to be quite important for you to take, please, because of the cold and flu symptoms, this is going to be still quite relevant. I said it millions of times, and I'm going to say it again. It's organic acerola cherry powder. Even if it doesn't completely prevent you from having a cold and flu, like for example myself, but it's just basically, but it is most certainly going to replenish your vitamin C levels. It's going to make you feel much better. It's going to rejuvenate you. It's going to give to your body what you need, you know, at the time, and most certainly it's going to help you to recover much quicker. Your cold and flu shouldn't last as long, because organic acerola cherry powder, which I highly recommend to take every single morning throughout this month, it's going to replenish your vitamin C levels. You take 1 liter teaspoon, you put it in a glass of water and drink it the very first thing in the morning. On another hand, what else I was going to say is like organic raspberries, blueberries and goji berries. I would also, or any berries, as much as berries as you can. But if you can't get like lots of berries to make these organic smoothies, which I'm talking about, that also should be taking it around the breakfast as well in the morning, like organic blueberries, raspberry, goji berries. But if you can't get the whole lot, then you get a couple of different ones, and this is going to be very good for your stomach, digestion, and also it's going to be good for your kidney and liver as well. I need something like some kind of a filter to help out to your kidney and liver to get rid of the toxins, and try to drink as much water as you can. And also, my gorgeous Gemininis, what I said before, organic chamomile tea or organic dandelion tea, try to sip this throughout the month. Try to avoid horrible sugar, and maybe have like a little bit of organic honey instead. But if you don't want honey, I understand. If you need to have a sugar, sorry, then have like something like a stevia, because stevia is like a natural sweetener, and it's a natural sugar. And it's actually very good, and it's very safe for you as well. If you're on any other medications, if you're pregnant or if you're breastfeeding, you just need to check with your doctor, you just need to check with your GP, because only your doctor or GP can tell you whether this can interact with your existing medications or not. Okay, my gorgeous Gemininis, so now basically going on the very first date, which is going to be relevant for you and very important. So the very first date, which is going to be important for you, my gorgeous Gemininis, is going to be on the 3rd of the actual February. The 3rd of February, it's going to make you feel quite good. There is going to be very good sense of, very good energy, very good feeling, you know, very good sense of achievement. And this is what I'm boiling down to. The actual very good sense of achievement. Very important, because that is going to be directly responsible for your own energy and for your own creativity. And it's almost immediately going to provide you with a certain vision that you're just going to start liking so much when it comes to your future. But I said a vision. When it comes to your future, when it comes to your immediate future, I'm talking about like within the next few months and things like that. But most importantly, it's gonna also make you realize suddenly, oh my God, what you need to do in order to create a quite significant starting point with a very slow and very stale stage of your life, where you just kind of find yourself at on a little bit of crossroads, uncertain, and you weren't too sure what to do because the certain things didn't take place as quick as you wanted to. So most certainly the realization how to deal with a certain problem is going to take place here, how to kind of like make things to speed up a little bit. But most certainly there is going to be the certain message that is also going to be very relevant when it comes to that particular thing. On the 3rd of February, also very good day for the actual manifestation. If you would like to have a manifestation, these days are very highly vibrational and very powerful for the little rituals, your little candle rituals and things like that. If you would like to have some of those, most certainly go for it, because it will go very, very, very high. Very, very far indeed. Okay. Now, the second date that I was going to, basically what else I was going to recommend to you, something to get something like a tiger's eye. You see this gorgeous tiger's eye crystal, very important at the time of like a success, very important at the time of achievement, because on one hand it makes us very sharp indeed, but on another hand it helps us with prosperity, it helps us with success, but also at the same time it prevents negativity to come through, but most certainly it helps us to kind of like protect ourselves against all sorts of evil people, negative people, and evil eye as well. It's something that I highly recommend to you indeed. This comes with a sterling silver setting, my gorgeous Gemininis, and it comes with a sterling silver chain, and the link to buy this is in the description below. And by buying things from my channel, you're also supporting my channel, my gorgeous Gemininis, as well. The second important day, it's going to be on the 14th of February. Now the 14th of February, it is just all like, oh my God, you're gonna feel like you wanna give yourself, but not like, I mean, give yourself. You're gonna feel like you wanna give yourself away by helping other people, which is absolutely brilliant. You're gonna discover something. You're gonna be very much so closely connected to the fact that you want to help someone, and that is absolutely brilliant. Someone or some kind of a cause, and this is so important because you are having a very high levels of your own spiritual awakening here. So this is nothing unusual, and someone is most certainly going to need your help, but this person is somebody who is just going to come to you, and you will know that this person needs a little bit of your help. How? You will know. When? You will know. Why? You will know indeed, because it's somebody who is in your life and somebody who's going to benefit from your absolutely wonderful energy. On another hand, some kind of learning stage, learning experience is going to take place. This is very important because this is going to be on your mind constantly. This new option, new experience. Do not let anything hold you down. Don't even have time for something like that. For example, something is gonna come to you, and then you're gonna think like, oh, I need to do this, I need to change this, I need to learn this. No, baby, no. You just go for it. You just go for it. You just go for it, because it is going to be a highly vibrational time, which means that it is going to get you to think a little bit deeper in a little bit different way. But this time you're gonna feel this courage that is just going to help you to go over it so much, my gorgeous Gemini, so much indeed. Sorry, it's all about the learning experience, which is just going to be connected to the new option indeed, and this is going to be that, this is going to create very important stage, which is just going to help you to have your own way out of the negativity, things that have been torturing you, the things that have been behind you, the things that have been around you for the last 24 months that have been kind of like getting your attention in a negative way and just draining your energy. So now this is going to stop. It's absolutely wonderful. It's absolutely remarkable. And at the same time, you see, it is all about the actual patience, something that you had the patience for a while, you know, and in particular, you know, for the last like a 17 months, 1-7. Now this is going to come through, and this is going to provide you with an option like your own success. It's wonderful because it's to do with the patience, it's to do with you being very responsible, it's to do with a certain management, it's to do with a certain capability. You're gonna need to like kind of make an adjustment, you know, a little edit, but most certainly an omen at the same time is just going to come through as in form of like a little bird, a little bird, a little bird. It could even be like a little feather. It all depends, but it's going to feel very angelic. It's going to feel very different. It's going to feel very much so like a part of the different dimension. I mean, it could be like a cat, for example, or it could be even God, dog, spell it backwards, dog, God, you see, this is it, yeah. So it could be like even dog, you see, it depends, but the bottom line is it's angelic. Something is going to be angelic about it. Angelic presence, angelic energy, angelic dimension. This animal, it's going to come through to the certain vortex of energy, which is just going to let you know at the very right moment in time that it's time to move on. The things are going to start changing here, and that in itself is just going to be so brilliant. When you have this omen, you will know exactly that this is going to be absolutely fantastic, remarkable, and you will know at the same time, you will know it's time to move on. The new option is going to come through, follow very much so shortly after, and this is going to be a very special message that you are going to have through your own omen. This is all about your learning experience. It's all about the new option. It's all about way out of negativity, and you will see how wonderful you're going to feel, because this is going to provide not only new dimension but a whole new direction, which is just going to at the same time become a strong vision and a wake-up call. Very, very absolutely mind-blowing moment in time, my gorgeous Gemininis. This is leading towards the very important transition and change, and also very much so abandonment of the certain stage of your life. It's going to become evident here, but this is all about your own readjustment, regeneration, and rebirth, which is just going to literally change your life. Okay, now the third important day also, Omen, it's going to remind you, my gorgeous Gemininis, Omen is going to remind you to believe in yourself, to be open-minded, to be happy, to literally believe in the in the impossible. Literally, anything can happen after this moment in time, after this stage. Fantastic. Okay, the third important date, my gorgeous Gemininis, is going to be on the 25th of February. Now, the 25th of February, you are going to come across the situation, come across the people that is actually going to surprise you, but it's going to be very significant and important stage, because the certain goal you will achieve that you didn't expect to achieve, which is going to require from you to make a decision, and you need to be very mature, and that's exactly what you're going to do. And that particular decision, it's going to be directly responsible for something very successful which is about to happen to you. But even more importantly, the 25th of February, but before the end of the day, there is going to be an invitation or opportunity that is just going to be so good. It's about your advancement, and it's going to be very attractive moment in time, because it's going to be very appealing in many different ways, and it is just going to make your radiance even more powerful, because it's just going to bring this wonderful energy in of this harmony, which is just going to begin its own moment of unfoldment. It is going to help you to realize that you will get certain challenge done. There's a challenging situation here, but you're going to do it so well. It's brilliant because this is going to be followed by the certain proposal or the certain proposition, and you're going to love it. On another hand, this is going to lead towards the resolution of the problem that was bringing you down in the last 3 months that you are involved with, and maybe other people depend on this. You know, this is beneficial to maybe some other people as well, but most certainly the problem is coming to an end in the form of an absolutely wonderful and lovely conclusion. And that is just all going to be about the certain compromise, but it's about the inspiration that is going to activate you where you needed to be activated, and that it's going to be something so significant because it's immediately going to bring you the power of accomplishment. It's going to boost your confidence, and it's just going to kind of like really make the certain person that is an important person when it comes to influence, when it comes to you, your energy, your life, your spiritual journey. That person is going to become very much so relevant. So from the exactly the right person, you received a certain like inspiration, most certainly. What else I was going to say, my gorgeous Gemininis, because this is, oh my god, it's a very powerful month when it comes to your own spirituality, you see. So you will be very much so spiritually open, and what is this going to do? It's brilliant, it's fantastic, you know. But on another hand, you're just open and sensitive to all sorts of spiritual activities and all sorts of energies that can affect you in a different ways, and it can drain your energy a little bit because it depends what kind of entities are around us. But because you're going to be spiritually open more than you normally are, psychically open more than you normally are, like I am always, for example, black obsidian is something I really need you to get, is because it's going to help you with the balance, it's going to help you with the grounding, it's going to help you with your own meditation, it's going to help you to reach a really high levels of consciousness and subconsciousness, but at the same time it's going to protect you against all sorts of negative energies, negative entities and things like that. This comes with a sterling silver setting and the sterling silver chain, and the link to buy this is in the description below. And by buying things from my channel, you're also supporting my channel as well. But I highly suggest you to actually to actually wear this throughout February and March as well. Okay, so now going on the very first part of February, my gorgeous Gemininis, it's all about this determination, rejuvenation, new energy, new power, you know, new dimension that you are going to feel in such a beautiful way. But as I said, your whole month is going to be very strong and very significant. So it's determination that you're going to have, and that determination is going to give you courage in order to cut out a certain part of your life, because something came to an end and there is no point to keep going, because the energy is dragging in this moment in time. It's about the abandonment, cutting something out, having a new stage. It's to do with the wishful thinking. That's a terrible words to say, wishful thinking, but it's rather to actually realize what it's not going to happen, the direction that it's not going to manifest rather sooner than later. That in itself is just going to push you subconsciously directly towards the certain skill. Something else is going to become relevant about you, around your skill, and it is going to require your attention. It's so important because your attention in such a way, because it's going to be an expansion of where you currently are, an advancement of where you currently are, and it's most certainly going to help you to release yourself from some kind of enslavement karmic situation that was holding you down like this, preventing you to fly like a little gorgeous butterfly. And most certainly it's going to be so good for your own security and power, because it's all about this prosperity here. Prosperity, which is just going to have such a nice flip-flop moment from the powerless situation in the last 10 months. Now this is going to be the greatest time of liberation. You will prove something to yourself. You will have a great achievement, and most certainly a new starting point, an excitement when it comes to the certain ending, and just an excitement also when it comes to you feeling free, you doing doing what you want to do. You're listening to yourself. You're floating like a beautiful spirit on the angel, you know, with the angels of love around you. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. By the time you get to the second part of February, you know, there's a little daring situation you will have. This is so important, and it's all about your practicality, security, and that next stage, next level. But it's about you following your own creativity, because it's going to be so good, and you will be asked something, you will be tested in such a way what your response is going to be, and most certainly it's going to be very good, it's going to be positive, and it's going to actually even more provide you with even more kind of like a powerful vibration, even more complex vibration, which is just going to enhance your own creativity. It's absolutely fantastic, and I really like it, because it's just all about you discovering, you see, your own security. This is about your own security. This is about what you have done. This is about your own passion. This is about you feeling good about yourself. This is about you feeling brilliant. You see, just be true to yourself. Stay true to yourself. Throughout this month, my gorgeous Geminis, it's important to trust your intuition, to trust your plans, to trust yourself, and stay true to yourself. By staying true to yourself, you are going to create the biggest peak of radiance through your own creativity, and also it is just going to help you to see so much around you. So much is going to be illuminated. So much is going to start making sense to you after this moment in time. But in particular, those things that didn't make sense, now they're going to make sense so much. And it's going to be really beautiful. Just trust yourself. You see this, my Geminis? Trust yourself. Okay? The trusting yourself is the key here. And that in itself is going to provide you with a turning point. Absolutely wonderful. The turning point is going to happen in such a way where this is also going to be a very powerful situation where you're going to surprise yourself, because there are going to be a couple of people that are not going to be meant to be there, which means that you are going to fall into this particular dimension of a surprise, which is exactly what it needs to happen in order to penetrate this energy even further, because at the same time your clear focus is going to be very strong and very sharp, and that in itself is going to become the moment of invocation, which is at the same time being a very much so strong vision quest moment of your own wake-up call, rebirth, and you kind of responding to the certain situation differently, which you are going to surprise yourself, which is nothing unusual, and you are going to you're going to make a decision about the future planning. The decision that you're going to make a future planning is going to be so good, because it is also going to help you so much with certain worry and loss. This is to do with you worrying so much and maybe not going towards the certain dimension, towards the certain direction. So most certainly now you will be able to make this decision through this turning point situation that you are going to have, which stem directly from you acting in a slightly different way. And this is the energy we needed, because that particular energy is just going to temper this vibration in a slightly different way which is going to help you to make this decision about the future planning, which is going to help you. It's going to boil down to you responding in a different way, and that different way is going to help you to make a decision about the future planning, and that in itself, it's going to help you because you were worrying about it. But most certainly you're also doing something very important when it comes to your own security and power, and there are a couple of choices that you will have as well. On an emotional level, by the time we get to the last part of February, emotionally something very important is going to happen, and a certain relationship is just going to start making sense, very much so. So emotionally, you're also going to make an important choice as well, which is just going to take place at the end of February 2020, and it's exactly what you will want to do, what you will need to do at that very moment in time. There is also going to be a highly intuitive time at the end of February, like, oh my lord, highly intuitive time. You are just going to be so psychic, it's unbelievable, absolutely brilliant. You're very powerful, you always are very psychic indeed. You're able to get all this sense of like a feelings in a completely different ways to everybody else, because you are Geminis. You're very powerful indeed, and this is why you just need to trust your intuition at the end of the month, because the intuition that you will have, it's also going to give you the whole new promise, but it's also going to be very much so important when it comes to the certain scrutiny. Somebody who was bringing you down a little bit, somebody who had a little bit negative impact on yourself, it's also going to kind of reappear at the end of this month, but this time you will be able to deal with it in a slightly different way, from a completely different angle, and there is a certain thing that you're going to do, the way you're going to react, it's going to be differently, and that in itself is just going to also create a whole new path, whole new doorway, which you are about to step through, which you are about to step in, which is just going to provide you with a completely different dimension, and it's going to be absolutely wonderful, because it's at the same time going to mark and enhance and remind you that you are, my gorgeous Gemininis, most certainly having the greatest spiritual awakening ever. That in itself, it's also going to help you to relax and chill out a little bit, take care of yourself. The end of February, it's also going to, because this is going to bring you such a wonderful balance, and it's going to be absolutely brilliant. And I like it so much because it's all about this generosity, balance, and inspiration that you're going to have at the same time. But it's also rejuvenate you. You know, it's going to be really good time, because it's just going to help you to discover yourself. It's just going to help you to sorry. It's just going to help you to discover yourself, but it's also going to lead towards a wonderful, wonderful opportunity that you are going to have at the end of February 2020, and you wouldn't normally have that opportunity. And this is why the things are so beautiful and so important, so inspirational, because it's all about the creativity, and you enjoying yourself through your own hard work, through your own accomplishment, and also you've been very, very clever, you've been very, very smart, and most certainly things are about to start paying off for you. Absolutely fantastic, absolutely brilliant, and this is going to reflect on you so beautifully, because I know, my gorgeous Gemininis, how long you've been waiting for this. There is an important decision that you are going to make, and that decision that you are going to make at the end and the last week of February 2020, it's going to take off in November 2020. November 2020 is going to be absolutely massive. No, 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 baby, no. I'm not saying that you need to wait until the end of November like to have something going. No, don't get me wrong. No, no, this is a very complex situation, and I'm just telling you how sacred this time is going to be, how sacred and highly fertile energy in this dimension is going to be. Be very optimistic, be very, very positive, and just keep on thinking and expanding things with your mind, because this time this expansion will go so much further. This time this expansion will go that much further. Remember, you've got a little spirit with you, you've got a guardian angel with you who is going to be guiding you throughout this month, from the 13th of February until the end of this month, and it's going to be wonderful, and you will see exactly what I mean. The highly important time of transformation. What else I think it's rather significant for you to do, if you could actually just try to meditate a little bit by trying to kind of like get yourself being connected with the nature. If you can get into the forest every now and then, it would be brilliant. If you could go and be by the water, by the river, by the sea, by the lake, you know, as well, it's going to be absolutely brilliant. If you can go outside and hug the tree, I know it sounds crazy, but sometimes people don't realize and understand the actual energy the trees have. Trees are very, very powerful, very significant, and very strong when it comes to their own energy, but also when it comes to their own wiseness. So by you actually hugging the trees, at the same time you're rejuvenating yourself, but you're also rejuvenating a tree as well. All you need to do is just hug the tree. Just imagine this beautiful energy going from your head inside the tree, through the tree, going down into the ground, and going through you back, you know, and then again through your head, through your body, through your head, going into the tree, this beautiful white powerful light of energy. And you imagine this energy 3 times like this, going from, you know, from yourself through your head into the tree, and then again to the ground, roots, you know, yourself, your body, and you do it 3 times. Just remember, it is not about you just thinking. Thinking is your energy. What you think is your energy. Make sure that you're thinking positive. Make sure that you're optimistic, because this is going to reflect on you like there is no tomorrow. But most certainly by doing this type of meditation, you will rejuvenate yourself, but at the same time you will make yourself even more wise. At the same time, it's going to help you to see things even more crystal clear, and on another hand, it just gets you even closer to that particular sharpness when it comes to your vision, when it comes to your radiance, and when it comes to your future planning. Absolutely remarkable, my gorgeous Gemininis, absolutely remarkable. So now I'm just going to shuffle these cards, and I'm going to shuffle these cards, and I'm going to connect to those of you that are actually in relationship. You know, it's fantastic because this is a very important moment in time when it comes to those of you who are in relationship. You see, here we go. Something that you both waited for a while, now it's going to take off, but it's connected to maybe the certain uncertainty. Maybe it's connected to uncertainty, and basically when it comes to somebody else, like, so you and your partner were maybe waiting for some kind of response from someone else or somebody else, for example, but you weren't too sure. You were worrying because you thought it's not the right time. You were waiting for the right moment in time. So basically it's going to be quite good. The good outcome that you've both been waiting for is going to become quite significant. An important option and decision you're also both going to make. And on another hand, it's basically something that you have been wondering about your partner. You are most certainly going to get the answer this month. And also the wise investment. There is some kind of investment that you're both going to have, and you're going to be wondering about it. Most certainly it's going to be wise. Okay? So now I'm just going to shuffle these cards, and I'm going to connect to those of you Gemininis that are single and ready to mingy. You see, I really like this moment in time. You see, for those of you that are single and ready to mingle, first of all, there is going to be the certain bravery that is going to become significant. That particular bravery that is going to become significant is going to stem from the fact that you're going to come across the situation where you're going to make a decision this month. And the decision that you're going to make, okay, this is going to unfold at around the end of the month, okay, and the decision that you're going to make, it's going to surprise you the way you're going to actually react, and that is going to be the peak of the very important and powerful moment in the same time, which is going to make you feel really good, but also it's going to get you thinking about that particular bravery and about the certain capacity. On another hand, at the same time, you see, you are going to have like the Hanged Man, which is the upside down, which means that there is going to be the return of the problem that you will need to deal with at the same time. That is going to bring the return of the problem that you're going to need to deal with at the same time, and it's connected to the moment in time what was blocking you to move on, what was blocking you to make a certain adjustment, what was blocking you to make a certain edit, and that edit was very much so needed in your life to just see the situation from a completely different angle, to get here where you are meant to get, to be here where you are meant to be, to get to this particular dimension. And that in itself is going to create this amazing restoring point, which is just also going to become directly responsible for you becoming the part with a certain group of people, and that group of people is also going to involve this particular person that is actually going to come through forward. There is someone very, very special that you are going to meet this month, my gorgeous Gemini. Someone very special, someone very powerful, somebody very responsible, somebody who comes from a really good family, but somebody who's like also at the same time providing the certain security and power as soon as you talk to them. This person is going to be different. This person is going to feel different, and that person is also going to feel about you exactly the same. You just have to remember, my gorgeous Gemininis, that you're going to meet this person when you least expect it, because there are lots of other things that are going to be going on that are going to take your attention, but most certainly that is going to be an important moment in time, because the energy is going to be quite loose, okay? Because sometimes when we focus too much, like on someone in particular, if we are waiting for that person, we can block them from coming because we are thinking too intensely, and that energy can become a little bit strange, you know, and then it can prevent us to actually kind of kind of get to that particular stage until we realize that it's not maybe so important or as important to our lives like we think, or maybe there are other things that we should be paying attention to first. And this is why I'm saying that this is just happening how it's meant to be happening, and most certainly it's going to come, it's going to happen, it's going to manifest at the moment in time when you least expect it, but most certainly it's going to be somebody who is going to stay there sorry, and somebody who is going to literally change your life. Absolutely fantastic, and I can't wait for you to meet this person. Okay, my gorgeous Gemininis, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I love you all. I love every single one of you, my gorgeous babies. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, and light. Okay, my gorgeous Gemininis, I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, and light to every single one of you. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. Love you. Bye.